Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. Bortnikoff time on my channel again. Today I will be reviewing Lao Oud. As you see, interestingly enough, the plaque lost all its golden color. Don't know what happened there, but it's now looks like plain metal. No more gold in Bortnikoff house and this bottle. Well, okay, I won't be going there in this video. At least too much, I promise. Today it's finally time to talk about Lao Oud, the Russian oud DNA type fragrance from Bortnikoff. If you watched my Iris Cacao or Russian Oud 2 review, you have heard plenty about Lao Oud. But now it's finally time to talk about it in its own right. As you see, I don't have Russian Oud or Iris Cacao next to me. I think it's pointless. I will just repeat myself one time. This is Russian Oud type DNA fragrance. Probably first of its kind after Russian Oud. At least first who managed to do it successfully. And it's by no means identical, but it's just very similar type DNA. What do I mean by that? It's oud plus cacao plus musk and stuff like that. It's recognizable. If you smell them side by side, you will obviously get it. Again, very small tangent. I'm talking about this older version. I have no clue what's going on with Lao Oud in today's Bortnikoff. I can imagine it's probably reformulated, but okay, no need to talk about that any more than I already did. What is this fragrance? Well, compared to Russian Oud, here we have more oud, or at least more animalic oud. It is dampy. In my opinion, Lao Oud is one of probably two hardest to wear Bortnikoffs in his collection. First being Oud Maximus, and then Lao Oud. In many artisanal houses, they use oud, but for example, like Agar Aura or Ensar Oud, they use clean type of oud with hardly any animalic facets. Riche Ladore uses animalic oud often, but not always. The quantity of oud is very big, like in Russian Oud Part 2. The oud is not that prominent compared to, for example, Mia's Iris Cacao, or compared to Lao Oud. More other notes like cacao overpowering. The animalic feel comes maybe from castoreum or other animalics. So, with some exceptions, most of the time when artisanal houses create an oud fragrance, the oud is there, but it's not always the dominant power behind the scent. In Lao Oud, it kinda is. Bortnikoff had his golden years, and in those years, if you buy Oud Maximus, the oud is front and center, together with rose, probably 50-50. But if you don't know, if you put rose in a fragrance, most of the time it is the dominant note. It will overpower mostly anything else in the composition. So managing to create a fragrance that has equally the rose and the oud sensible in the scent is not that easy to achieve. I think Frederick Moll and Knight managed to achieve that pretty well, but they used white animalic Indian oud. While artisanal fragrances, if being shocking and animalic is not your main goal, Many of houses restrain themselves from doing that because obviously smelling like shit is not like many people, according to many people's taste. And by now probably everybody knows, but if you don't know, I will repeat myself. The animalic facet of oud is man-made. They soak it. So natural oud is not as funky right out of the distillation device. They soak the wood to create this animalic scent, to enhance it. So when you smell frankincense from Agar Aura, for example, and you maybe think there's no oud, or you don't feel the animalics, the funk that you expect to see there because you smelled, I don't know, some Suga, Fiona, or some Risla Doria, more funkier creations. No, the oud is still there, just the distillation method is different. In this Lao Oud, the wood is absolutely funky, and if you just leave it at that, we would be talking about first batches of Dusita type of funkiness, I assume. Different wood, but the level of funkiness. What Bortnikoff did here, he put a shit ton of cacao in it. So Lao Oud is very sweet. It is sweeter than Russian oud. It's sweeter than Russian oud too. So this sweetness, it is there to control the funkiness of oud. It is there to make the scent obviously more likable. It is there to obviously recreate the magic that Russian oud was. By Risla Doria. Russian oud by Risla Doria is like, I don't know, like Aventus for niche fragrances. Russian oud is for artisanal, the gateway drug, the fragrance that brought Adam on the map. At least that's what I believe. So it's nothing too strange that other brands are trying to catch a little bit of that market. And in my opinion, Bortnikoff Lao Oud did it successfully. Even though the DNA is obviously similar, he twisted it in his own way. The way this fragrance feels, even though it smells similarly, the way it feels is completely different. If we take Russian oud, the scent smells like a gourmandish, chocolatey dessert type thing. You don't want to eat because you can smell oud. In Bortnikoff, but it's like solid. Imagine the scent, the picture I just described, solid. Bortnikoff Lao Oud to me is like similar DNA, but it's liquidy. It's like a swamp. It's hard to convey sense to words, you can imagine, especially not in my mother tongue, but I will try. The Lao Oud is damp, it's humid, it's swampy. You don't want to eat this. You don't want to drink this. It's like a sweet swamp water. Yeah, maybe like that. It's a sweet swamp water. I don't imagine this fragrance as a solid. I don't imagine it as a dessert. I imagine it as exotic swamp with oud and florals and cacao, tons of cacao. Other difference from Russian oud, Lao Oud, in my opinion, is a little bit more natural. And the outcome of that is that it is less strong. And the projection for the first hour is pretty good, but after that it turns to skin scent. And even at that, the longevity of the scent is also a lot weaker than Russian oud, or Iris cacao, to that matter. But at the same time, I think I would sell Russian oud. I'm not selling my Russian oud, by the way, don't message me. I would sell Russian oud before I would sell Lao oud. And the main reason is because it is, to my nose, a little bit more natural. The oud here for me is more pronounced, but like in Iris cacao, where the oud is even more pronounced than in Lao oud. And if you want to hear all about that, please watch my Iris cacao full review. Single bottle reviews do not catch many views, sadly. So if you haven't seen that one, please watch it. If we take Lao oud, as I said, the oud is more pronounced, but differently from Iris cacao, it fits. In my opinion, this oud fits a lot better to Russian oud type DNA than Iris cacao version of this fragrance oud. So even by being insanely sweet, this is not probably, it's 100% the sweetest Bortnikoff out there, sweeter than Tobacco Dore. You can sense the oud clearly. I can sense it here, not at the top of the nose, but it enters your nostrils with cacao, and somewhere here it just sticks as an oud. So as far as truly chocolatey oud description comes, I think Bortnikoff might even landed it a little bit better. Because if we take Russian oud part 2, I can smell cacao as a separate thing from all the rest of composition. It's cacao, and then all that's left there, the ambergris, the musk, the oud, everything is there, plus a very strong cacao. In Lao oud, and that probably comes back to my notion that Bortnikoff is better at blending, at least was better at blending than most artisanal perfumers. It smells like this one whole thing. The oud gives it this swampy, dampy, humid type of smell, but it envelops the cacao in itself, and what you get is this one singular type smell where you are not able to dissect the notes separately. It's truly a swampy, chocolatey oud. Does it smell like a dessert? No. As I said, I would not like to eat it. And this unique way of Bortnikoff blending, where you can't separate notes one from another, is what professional perfumers are thought to do and are able to do. Not all artisanal perfumers can easily achieve that. Bortnikoff had the talent to do so. And overall, given that the scent is extremely deep, extremely potent, it not overstaying its welcome, in my opinion, for me, is a positive. Because I like the scent. I want to smell it for maybe 6 hours tops, and I want it to go away. I don't want to smell like damp, swampy oud for, let's say, 10 hours. And Russian oud, for me personally, it overstays its welcome. Not by much, maybe by an hour, it's pretty fine. Iris cacao overstays its welcome by a lot. That thing is beast mode. So I sold it. So by just being there enough, I think that's, for me personally, it's a strong suit of Lao Oud. For many of you, it may be not. And that's why I'm trying to explain my taste, my preferences with every video for those who are watching my every video. So you would know that if I praise something, I want you to know why I do it. And you could evaluate my reasoning by yourself and decide for yourself. Because if you are the person who wants one spray to last you 12 hours, this is not for you, by any means. If your favorite part of, let's say, Russian oud is the gourmandish side of it, the cacao, the easy wearability, then Mia's Iris Cacao or Lao Oud, this version at least, it might be not for you. But it is for me. Also, I almost forgot. If we take Russian oud DNA by its core, it's not that difficult and it's not that complex. I would call Russian oud DNA a monolithic fragrance. It has some changes in its life, but mostly it does not change. It's this one chocolatey oud thing. So when I say that Russian oud overstays its welcome, let's say by an hour, or Iris Cacao overstays its welcome by many hours, that's the main reason why. In my fragrance journey, I like evolution. I like when fragrances start somewhere here and go somewhere here and then do a backflip and end up somewhere completely different. If that's happening, it can happen in like 20 hours, I don't mind. If I feel like I'm sensing some change, some new notes appear, something disappears. In this DNA, it does not happen. Lao Oud is also a monolithic fragrance, is just a little bit lighter, a little bit more vibrant, because it's, as I said, swampy, liquidy type of scent, while Russian oud is solid and it's like monolithic, trucking through the day with you. So there, if I'm saying that I want a fragrance to last 6 hours, it's not for every fragrance. It depends on how it evolves, how it changes, and how everything moves and shivers. And in this case, in Lao Oud case, in Russian oud case, in Iris Cacao case, these fragrances do not move. They are just there from the first moment you spray them. And that's why I like them to go away by 6 hours. Simple as that. So yeah, thank you for watching. Hope I was not speaking about the same things and pouring my heart out about Bortnikoff as I tend to do in every video. I try to restrain myself very hard in this one. I hope you appreciate it. The scent is obviously in my collection for a reason, and if you can't find yourself a Russian oud bottle, I can recommend Lao Oud as a replacement. It's the same as I recommended Mia's Iris Cacao. These are phenomenal fragrances, not necessarily for my personal taste, but the phenomenal part comes from what they managed to achieve, how many people this DNA attracted to artisanal type of perfumery. It's phenomenal. Everybody wanted it. Most of artisanal fragrances have smelled at least some iteration of this DNA, and even me, who is not like the biggest fan of this DNA, I can't hate on it. And that's an achievement. To create something this unique at the time, this challenging at the time, and this at the same time this likable at the time, it's an achievement. And if we know anything about fragrances, other creators getting inspired by your creation and trying to create something similar in their own way is the biggest praise and the biggest proof that you made something very substantial. So yeah, I will finish with that. Have a good evening and goodbye.